Hey everybody, welcome to this special edition of DevHub Live. Today we are diving into how to build agents that don't just work but actually last. And we have two special guests for today. This is a special edition for the people who are building on the 1 Trillion Agents Hackathon. We get the man, the legend, Zahid from Jutsu. Over 20 years of experience working in machine learning and AI, and actually Jutsu helps startups to scale up and build uh, productionize agents, right. So, and also we have Maria, the hackathon wizard from Hackbox. Welcome, Maria.
Hi there. Thank you for inviting us. And cool guitars. Do you really need
Uh-huh.
guitars to build an agent?
Yeah. Thank you. Also, Zahid is a fellow guitar player, right?
I want to learn. No.
Okay.
I love guitar, but no.
Okay, I can sing. I weekly I sing in a choir. I do jazz. So if you guys ever want to collaborate on something beyond
That's
the
okay.
hackathons,
That's
that's
okay.
okay.
Okay, I
Unfortunately, we
will.
won't win any bounties that way. So let's go down to business.
Sure. I will leave you with the live stream and whatever you may need. Just let me know. By the end of the live stream, we'll have some, question and answer section. So feel free to ask and comment. Right.
Okay, thank you so much. So I would like to start with thanking the Heat for joining us today. We will talk a little bit about rules and requirements and boring legalese stuff. But we also invited you because you've been at near hackathons and global hackathons since forever, and you live in the global center of innovation in San Francisco. So you had your own autonomous agents hackathon, I think, last weekend. Were you there? Did you attend?
Uh, Last week I give a talk about how to build an agent, how to build a production ready agent, different patterns. So and I'm probably every other day in a AI agent meetup in SF.
So I would like to ask you, how does it feel being in the final frontier of tech, like building literally the future? What do you think? Like feeling some responsibility on your hands?
Yes. So I feel a lot of pressure, to be honest, in some cases, because I can see it can go dark pretty soon, like if we start discussing about it. But like agent are going to transform everything we do. And some of this transformation will be great for some people, and it will also kind of replace a lot of other roles. So being in the center of it, being building some of those technology, I feel it is kind of my responsibility to share that, hey, like there will be transition. So even from the builder side, we have to transition. We have to make the transition from being a coder who just know how to write code to a problem solver, and then use all these AI agents and this technology to kind of move forward. So that's I feel we have not only just responsibility to build agents or technology, but we also have a responsibility to tell the story of why and how all of us should transition. Because think about it, like there was a time, like some of us who are older, like there was a time when you have to walk around with floppy disk, but now you have cloud and everything, so we all made the transition. I think this is another very important transition time, so I feel it is our responsibility as a technologist not only build the technology but also help people make the transition.
That's very well put. So I would like to ask you one question. So if today AI, quantum computers made a breakthrough and you, Zahid, would find out that thanks to science, you would be able to live up until 300 years, what would you learn? What kind of profession would you choose?
Wow. So I literally had a long conversation with a friend yesterday about something similar, like if we could live forever, like what that will be. So what I'll do before I come there, so it's more like there is a concept that I learned is like um, money don't make people happy, money amplify who they are. So if they are a very happy person, they'll be, if they have more money or more resources, they'll be more happy. If they are a sad person or angry person, they'll be more angry. So I think when we will reach that level of technology where we can live forever, so whoever we are, that will amplify. So imagine like if I'm a sad person and now you tell me like hey, congratulations, you can live rest of your
You will
life.
be sad forever.
Exactly. So that will be a nightmare for me. But if I'm happy,
It would.
of course. So then now going back, what I'll do, probably I'll find out what are the things that makes me happy. Maybe going out, maybe hiking. Hiking is one of the things I like. Maybe building more kind of a balanced life. So I will probably, to be honest, like if I have that opportunity, I'll probably invest more on kind of a non-technical thing. So like a given like a AI or technology will be 100 times or 1,000 times better than me. So I will probably make priority of becoming better at problem solving, finding problems, and then kind of create a life that makes me happy. So whether it's like maybe I'll go hiking, maybe we'll have more friends, so spend more time. So that's probably, I believe, like when we'll reach to that level, like non-technical side, human side will become more and more important. So uh,
Keeping that in mind, I think for this hackathon, the slogan should be not taming the struggles. It's actually reclaiming your time and reclaiming your headspace. Because when we are thinking about autonomous agents economy, we're thinking about things that will free our headspace, do mundane things for us, like buy tickets, pay for school lunches, like do everything that we need to keep in our heads, that eventually at the end of the day forms the cloud of that mental load that hangs on top of our heads. And if we were to live forever, or even up until 75, like we are expected now, we would like to have more time and more headspace for doing things that we love. So keeping that in mind, I would like to introduce a few things about this hackathon rules and submission criteria and judgment criteria. And then we will go back to discussing philosophical questions with the heat, keeping in mind that we are here to help you win this hackathon, and one of those, a chunk of this huge bounty pool of 115K. So today we actually published this new digest to explain our bounty pool. We have 3 main tracks: DeFi agents, AI-powered finance tools like trading bots, portfolio managers, DCA agents, social media agents, create meme coin bots, Yapper agents, or AI-driven communication tool. Actually, I saw a really cool use case. I think even Zahid proposed it on, or maybe not Zahid, someone proposed it on Near Dev Telegram chat to create a bot that would read Twitter conflicts and decide which side is right and which side is wrong. Just imagine how much time would it save. I'm really looking forward for someone to ship it. And then third track is Absurd Agent, a little bit less of a bounty, but a little bit more fun in terms of building it. So experiment with outlandish AI concepts, anything goes, anything that you can think of. And then on top of that, we have a sponsored bounty breakdown. We have $10,000 paid in Aurora for AI-powered virtual blockchain using Aurora Cloud Console. We have this document, One Trillion Agents Hackathon Bounties breakdown. So if you click a link from the dev post page in the hackathon, from the bounty page, you will see this explanation. Aurora actually provides a lot of ideas to get started. For example, they offer you to create political leader chain, blockchain founder chain, cartoon heroes chain, superhero chain, and even Netflix TV show chain. I hope we won't be banned on the copyright grounds. So this is the Aurora bounty. Then Proximity offers 25K in bounties to build cross-chain Bitcoin, Twitter, X-based agents with near intents and chain signature. Let's take a look at the documents to see what they actually mean by that. So you would use near intent to make multiple cross-chain swaps based on LLM or other off-chain data output. There are some resources that you could use for Bitcoin agents, some other examples. We have examples for Bitcoin and Runes link drop. And for Twitter and X agent, again, social media agent, we also have some ideas and examples to compete for this proximity bounty. Then there is a hot wallet bounty to use hot Omni SDK for cross-chain token transfers. There's a beta bounty for autonomous chain agent for near or EVM apps. There is a Swan chain bounty and 2 more bounties from Nafal Labs, Frax Finest. So as you can see, a lot of interesting challenges to tackle. And the best thing about this hackathon is that you can ship more than one agent. That's why we called it 1 Trillion Agent Hackathon. So I guess my question after we reviewed all of those bounties would be, Zahid, as a developer, what tackles your excitement? If you were to participate in this hackathon, what would you choose?
I think like there are so many opportunities. So it's like if I would start, so like I would think about like what is the problem that I'm passionate about, and as a founder, what is the project that I was always dreaming and I want to build? What is the problem that I have in my life that I can solve using agent? So that's where I will start, and then figure out like what are the bounties that I can connect to. So let's say if I feel like I do buy a lot of kind of let's say if I want to have fun with meme coin, so then probably I will create a bot that go through like collect those data and do something with that, and then that means I can connect now with a bunch of this bounty, and then I'll build some agents that solve that specific problem, and also kind of allow me to apply for multiple bounties. So that's how I would do. One of the thing, I don't know if you know, Maria, so Jutsu started as a hackathon project. So in 2 years ago in Denver, so when Nia launched the blockchain operating system, so I was there. So I thought like, okay, I want to build some components, and then kind of wanted to solve like a few different problems. So I submitted like I think 2 or 3 projects, and 2 projects kind of in 2 different categories. And then from there, I had a lot of experience of writing near operating system components. And then I found a problem like a lot of other developer who are building, they also have this challenge. And I kind of created a very easy to build developer platform, and rest of the thing are history. So now Jutsu is its own big company, but the starting was very humble. It was in a hackathon. I did not sleep probably for 72 hours, 3 days straight. I still remember I was talking with a lot of other hacker. So if you have a dream of building something, building a company in the future, I think that's a good incentive. If you have a kind of a interest of making some money for working on something you like, so that's another incentive. So I would say find a problem that you are interested, and then build a solution, and then figure out how many different bounties you can apply for. And because you can build more than one agent, so I would just say maybe find 2 or 3 problems. So more is better now.
Yeah. So in terms of working on the submission itself, I know that you started as an experienced developer, but I'm pretty sure that as for the majority of us, for you, coding and using AI came as something new during some of the hackathons a couple of years ago. So how hard it was then, and how hard or easy it is now to start building on Near, and how much time would you expect to spend building a certain agent for this hackathon, maybe?
Yeah, I think like definitely a lot of things are much easier now, in a sense like you don't have to be a really experienced developer if you use tools like GitHub Copilot or Cursor. So like you can use or Replit. You can use those coding agent that can write bunch of the code for you. So in that sense, it's easier. So now more and more people have to become a good problem solver. So you have to find a problem, you have to break it down. You can use even some of this LLM. So nowadays there are LLM are really good at reasoning. So that means if you give a problem, they can help you break down those problem. So I would say like start from there, have an idea, go to a LLM, maybe ChatGPT or Claude, and then say like, okay, break this problem into smaller pieces, and then take those pieces, use Claude or something to or Cursor to generate code. So I think nowadays it is more important to become like a um, problem solver and using all these different tools and then putting things together. So in that sense, I think it's nowadays it's much easier.
Thank you for this insight. Actually, it's a big relief to hear that it's getting easier and easier to build project in here. So if I could have my screen back on our viewer's screen, I would like to explain the submission requirements and judging criteria a little bit before diving into what we can actually build and how would we choose the winners of this hackathon. So for this particular hackathon, we use our pretty standard submission requirements. Obviously, it needs to be built on near technology or near adjacent technology, one of the partners and sponsors could do. It needs to fit the requirements of one of the tracks that we have here, or it needs to fit a description of the sponsored bounty. And there's this sanity check criteria that I always use. The effort that the person put into submission, because sometimes people would ship something really low effort. So we have in our rules page, 1t-agents.devpost.com/rules, we have the explanation about the third-party integrations, how you should test, where you should publish. Most importantly, your repo should be open source, and each project page needs to have a link to the repo, because if you don't have it, we won't have an opportunity to have a technical review, and without that, it's really hard to move on with the judging criteria. So demonstration video of the project also quite simple. We usually require something up to 3 minutes. Can be a demo, can be a footage that shows that project is functioning on the device that it was built for. Why we included this description about the device? Because sometimes it's not a mobile app, it's not like something browser-based. Sometimes people go out above and beyond building like hardware for hackathons. So this is why we decided not to limit them. For example, on my previous hackathon, someone built a POS terminal for accepting crypto.
wow.
I think it was so cool. And they used like a Tupperware box to put the terminal in, so you could see, like through plastic, you could see all of the electronics inside. So yeah, basically this is what the video is for. And then pretty obvious, this must be the original work, because now with AI we can search high and low. If you actually borrowed code from someone, we will know. I will know because I'm managing hackathons in this ecosystem for 3 years. So in terms of plagiarism, it's easy to notice. So then we have this team representation, intellectual property rights, all of that. And then let's move on to the judging criteria. So we have it pretty simple. Most hackathons in your ecosystem have standard judging criteria. First and foremost needs to be great technological implementation. So good tech, Does interaction with near demonstrate quality development? If yes, then it's a go. If no, unfortunately, if it doesn't work, then we cannot judge the projects for what it is. The ideas are great, but unfortunately, if the idea is not accompanied by great implementation, it's really hard to judge. Then it's the design, even if it doesn't have an elaborate front end. We would like you to think about the user experience. Is it thought out? Did you keep the user in mind? Then it's the potential impact, something that we discussed with Zahid in the beginning of the session, because we're working on the future of humanity here. So we need to understand that everything that we're shipping will actually benefit humanity, not vice versa. Then the quality of the idea, how unique is the project. So I will ask Zahid actually what does it mean for him in a minute. And then the last criteria for me, it's the most interesting one, the project sustainability. Can it actually survive outside of the hackathon? What's going to happen if we gave you like $10,000 after this and tell you like, go explore life? What would you do? So a solid hackathon team needs to have an answer to this question, a plan in mind, and most importantly, an ask. When you pitch your project, the last slide will always be like, we need like 4 more people and $1 billion. But it might be reasonable, might be unreasonable, but at least you know what you need to get to the next stage. So back to Zahid, I would like to ask you, when you evaluate the quality of idea, what matters to you? How does a high quality idea look like?
For me, like, so I have been a full-time founder for almost 2 years now, and then before that I was VP of engineer and was like a first few engineer in many different startups. So I think the quality project for me looks like, if you have a problem that like you feel always you felt like someone should solve that problem, like why there is no solution for that thing, even if it is a small thing. So that's a good starting point. Sometimes like we have all this like go around the day, and then we find like all this smaller thing, and I feel like there must be a solution for that. Maybe why do I have to like go through the Uber UI and then type all these things when like when something should know that every morning I go to this co-working space and probably should order a Uber, and then Uber should be there. Like if when I go 9:30 or 10, there should be a Uber there. So like think about like that kind of problem. Think about like the problem that you need to solve. Like you want someone, you will even pay for that solution if someone build that solution. So that's the high quality kind of idea. And then this next challenge is like is this idea are unique to me? Ideally you want a idea that's like a problem that other people also have, and a lot of cases it's very easy to test. So you just ask like your friend or your colleague like hey, like how do you solve this problem? And then if they say like oh, like I don't know, like I'm doing this, but it would be nice to have a certain kind of solution. So that's how I would kind of find a problem. And people can say like, oh, like hey Zahid, you have like a 20 years experience, and now it's easy for you to say, right? It's not, not first of all, it's not easy for me to say, because finding a good problem is always challenging. The next step will be like maybe you don't have that problem. See, like go around and see where are the problems, or how can you make something better. So like the promise of AI and promise of AI agent is like to make our life easier, to make us more efficient. So maybe find a boring task, like the most boring task everyone have to do. Maybe they have to like they have to fill up a bunch of form like every few days. Can you make an agent that just does that? Can you make an agent that solve a very niche problem? So that's another way to find a great idea. The last way I would say like a kind of a the easiest way will be just go to a LLM like a ChatGPT or Claude and ask like, hey, I am trying to win this hackathon and I have this skill. Give me 5 idea that and explain why I will win with
You know
those.
what I would do? I would like go and spoil a data set. I would go to ChatGPT and tell them, okay, you know what you gotta do to win this hackathon? I would shit post something like absolutely deranged
Yeah.
that no one would ever use, and then my competitors will read it and follow the advice. That's what I would do. But I'm evil, so you're
No,
good.
no,
So listen to you. To his advice.
no, I think that's why that you are talking about the first idea that I mentioned, right? So like if you have a problem that you want to solve, so you know what you want to do. So that's great. If probably 5% of the people who will hack, they know already what they want to do, and 95% rest of us probably, if you need to go to ChatGPT or Claude and then say hey, this is a AI agent hackathon. I have JavaScript skill or I have Python skill. I'm interested in DeFi. What are give me 5 interesting project that I can work on this hackathon, and also explain why I'll win. So it is an agent hackathon. I would encourage everyone to use AI to kind of ideation, use AI. For code generation, use AI. Even for when you are trying to make a video, for 3-minute video, go to ChatGPT or AI agent, say I have this project, give me a script that I can talk about for 3 minutes. So don't be shy of not using agents or AI for your task, because the future is not only just building, using. So in the future you will want agent to build agent. So why not use agent? So
Yeah, the only remark I would say regarding the AI generated video scripts, I've seen it so many times, especially at our latest redacted hackathon that we hosted in Bangkok. A lot of people would get shy of how their voice sounds in the demo, and they would use AI generated voices. People don't do that. Like a human voice is 100% better than even like a perfect British accent like generated voice, because it provides us with this human touch, and that's how we know that you actually made an effort and that you are not afraid to be vulnerable and get out there.
yeah, by the way, I'm not saying you generate the video or the voice. A lot of time I'm an engineer, or a lot of, if you are like me, you're watching this stream, who are not comfortable talking to a camera or explaining to people. So in those cases, I'm talking about the script. These are the things you should say. These are the a hook, or these are the 5 points you should talk about your project, because not all of us are very good at kind of explaining something in the video. A lot of us are just very good at coding. So that's what I mean. Just go create a script, go create a presentation using some sort of those presentation AI agents. So and you mentioned about the idea, where I can get the idea. Maybe use few of those agents that are out there, that will give you an idea of how it feels, how magical it feels. If you, so I don't get paid by Replit or anything, but I would say if you try their coding agent, it is magical. You just go there, you type few things what you want to build, and in few seconds it gives you the whole project, and then it can run the test. So get inspired by those things, because if they can build it, you also can build something. So that's kind of will be my suggestion on a 3 level of kind of how to find a problem. First, check if it is your problem. Check if you can solve someone else's problem. Third is go to ChatGPT or Claude, ask for a problem.
That's all very good suggestions. So to wrap up this session, I would like to demonstrate how the project page might look like. Can I have my screen back? Yeah, so this is the winner of our previous hackathon, big redacted hackathon in Bangkok, the winner of the native track, the Hacker's Choice winner. two-people team. So I would like to show, because we're using the same platform, DevPost, to present the projects, because coding is just one part of the job, and properly presenting and explaining what the project is about is also a very important part of the job. So here on DevPost, you can create a page that starts with the name of the project and then the tagline. You can ask people who participate in this hackathon or people who support you to like it, to comment it. It's all good for drawing more attention. So it all starts with the demo video. As we can see here, we have the video and a few screenshots. Then we have the problem statement. Then we have the solution. Very well written, very transparent. The scope is very well written. And then, in my opinion, one of the most important things to win a hackathon is to write out the project goals and future plans, as I mentioned at the beginning of the session. So this particular team mentions that their main goal is to raise funds in early 2025. I'm going to check on the how they're doing in that department. And they also have a full roadmap. They linked it to the website. Then they specify which exactly instruments that did they use to build it. For us, it was super helpful because we had different categories. For example, here we can definitely see that they've been using Rust, so it's built on Near, and they've been using chain signature and wallet selector. And then also an important part, not to forget the GitHub repo that needs to be open for the period of judging. And there is also a demo on Versal, quite easy to ship, but also shapes the impression of the project quite well. So people could actually click through that without running code. It's easy because from my experience, the judge usually spends up to 20 minutes assessing the page. So if I were hacking for this particular hackathon, I would make sure that the judge would get the most they can out of the project in 10 minutes or less, so they could leave some time for thinking about it, evaluating it, and needs to look really well and well-rounded. So we see that a lot of people like it. We see a lot of comments here. So please don't be shy. Let your community know what you're working on, and let them support you even through this, even through writing comments on dev posts. It's not a big deal for them, but it's a big deal for you, and it's a big deal for us. If we see that your community supports you, it's also very important. So I guess my final question to you, Zahid, would be like, what's your best advice to hackathon participants? How should they build? What should they build, and how should they win?
I think the first advice is maybe start your project with thinking that you can win. So like a lot of these people you see, like they are like you, I'm like you, like I'm not something special. So like you
You're
can
very special. What are you talking about?
talking about like each of you have like a opportunity to win. So sometime we just feel like oh, I probably this is an online hackathon, probably hundreds and thousands people will participate around the world, probably I don't have a chance. But I can tell you like you have a chance, like so that's the first thing. Second thing is like try to create a good team with complement skills. So like a lot of cases, like uh, majority of those hackathon are not win by one person. Yes, there are some cases like when one person win, they can do everything. But I would say like find a great team. So like a complementary skill that you have. Then third thing I would say like have fun. So like don't worry too much about like whether you will win or lose, but like have a mentality of like, okay, these few weeks I will work on this project, I'll have a lot of fun, I'll work with people that I want to work with or I just met online, and then these few weeks we'll try our best to win. So that's kind of my suggestion. Start working to win, submit. So you will be surprised how many people start hackathon but never submit. So even just by submitting a good documentation and project, you increase your chances a lot. So these are the things. But I have a question for you, Maria. Like so all these things are nice, but where can people get help? So like if I'm building something and getting stuck, Like I know that near have some place for some Telegram channel for kind of a getting.
We do. Thank you for
So,
this question.
yeah.
I would like to, in turn, I would like to support the statement that hacking solo is great, but hacking with the team doubles, triples, quadruples your chances to win. And actually, one of the two of the chats that we use for developer community are a great place to team match and find talent for your team. So one of them is near dev on Telegram, t.me/near dev. And another one would be our server on Discord. If you don't have Telegram, join us on Discord, near.chat. And actually, since we're streaming this on all platforms that we could reach, if you send us a comment with your idea description on how to find you, we can actually highlight you during this stream. We have a couple of questions from the audience. Are hackathons a great inception to build startups, and how likely you would consider this happening? Zahid, I think this is up your alley.
Yeah, like you can see as example. So like it's not hypothetical. So I started as a hackathon. So my project started as a hackathon, and then now we are a startup, and we are not just a startup. We are funded venture-backed startup, and then we went through one of the best incubator called Orange DAO. So and all started from hackathon. So this is for you, whoever asking, like, yes, you can do it. Just start. So just build bunch of things. So like maybe one or two. Another thing, like you have to keep in mind that whatever you start, probably going to pivot to something else. But the most important thing is giving yourself permission, like, hey, like, I'm going to do it, and I have a intention to make that thing as a company. To summarize, yes, I'm the example. So you absolutely can build a startup.
I probably want to add that despite not all hackathon projects becoming startups, hackathons are such a great resource and most time free resource to reach out to the mentors that you wouldn't reach in real life like so easily, because we usually invite mentors to be in touch with the participants, especially if it comes to in real life hackathons. Sometimes they would suggest something to pivot your project properly. Sometimes they would just get in touch with you, exchange LinkedIn profiles, and who knows, maybe in 6 months they would be one of the backers for your project. So hackathons are all about community, and I think it's a great place to start thinking in this entrepreneurial mindset and then see what comes up. I think it's a really great question, and I think it's a really good start. So Julian is asking us, one of our previous hackathon winners, actually, my idea doesn't follow the listed categories. Is it fine to submit to this absurd track? I don't know what the idea is, but I think you can be like really out there and still be eligible for the absurd track as long as near tech is integrated in that project. I know that Julian is working on the project called Partage. I think a year ago at NearCon in Lisbon, he presented an integration that would help Airbnb landlords, something with NFT, decentralized file storage manager. That's what Julian says. How can a decentralized file storage manager fall into the autonomous agent category? Can we quickly brainstorm, Zahid?
Say it again. So how can
a decentralized file storage manager fall into the category of an autonomous agent? How can you connect this concept, Julian's concept, to the concept of this hackathon?
Yeah, one thing will be like think about like how so decentralized storage, but if you take more like a Google Photo, so those are centralized storage, right? So you centralize all these photos in one place. But imagine like building something like a Google Photo where your agent will tag those images, like these are your friends, or these are the places you took. Like that could be one thing. It could be like making decentralized storage easier, like a agent that kind of maybe a workflow in a sense, like imagine DocuSign. When you sign something, it store those files in somewhere. So can you use like a blockchain and decentralized storage to kind of do that and make that part automated. So like when I need a signature, the agent reach out to all these people and get the signature, and then complete the whole process kind of by itself. So think about agent are more like something that you have to do repetitively, and something where you might need minimum input, but like today you have to do it like a very manual way. So one great example will be like if Maria and I want to schedule a meeting, we have to probably exchange 5 different emails. But can both of us have an agent that can do that part just looking at our calendar? So that's an example of like where agent will shine. Figure out like I don't know 100% like decentralized storage can be many different things. So like can you build a NFT agent do certain stuff with decentralized storage? So I would like my AI to extract feature from the files to better organize the file. Perfect. So that's a great solution. So like, and that file can be a image, that file can be code or lot of things. So if you can build that, I think that should fall into a agent. So to be an agent, you have to kind of the in my mind, simple definition of agent is like something that is semi-autonomous or semi-autonomous, that have some reasoning or thinking capability using LLM, and that can do certain tasks on behalf of you with or without your intervention. So if you can fall something in that category, I think that should consider as agent. And I think you can do, Julian, I think you can do the thing that you explained.
And I also think that Julian needs to join the near dev chat, or maybe he's already there. So you can take this conversation offline and maybe discuss where it can go from there. Because from what I'm seeing, this is a really great idea that could work. So, and finally, wrapping up with a question, can you guys extend the hackathon as New Year is going through the resources, and that itself took a lot of time? So this particular hackathon cannot be extended because we synchronize it with something exciting that we're hosting at ETH Denver. Our colleagues from Founder Success team are hosting this agent game one-day coding session. So you can participate in that one. And even if you didn't manage to build anything throughout this month, maybe in a few couple of days in ETH Denver, you will be able to ship something. But after March 2nd, we will announce more exciting and interesting plans regarding this 1 trillion agent campaign. So we wouldn't stop here. We will host a couple more online hackathons. I really hope that we will be able to host something in person. And this campaign will be ongoing for a few more months. So if we could share Zahid's LinkedIn on screen for people who want to connect directly, that would be awesome.
And feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help. So just be mindful, like probably I'll not able to answer you immediately because I have to run a company, but I'm here to help anyone if you need any, if you have any question in terms of technology, in terms of business idea of around your agents, I'm happy to help.
Oh, right.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a question for you, Said, because like
Mm-hmm.
we share several hackathons, and sometimes you find this like the post-it effect, like when someone is getting like a piece of innovation, but doesn't get the full scope of the possibilities that they can tackle with this idea, right? Like sometimes you are building something specific, and then you can talk to someone else and figure out that there are more uses in different industries for different use cases. You can apply your idea. So how to help the hackers to take a time and explore different uses for their own ideas?
I would say like a hackathon don't worry too much, at least during the hackathon, about like figuring out all the possibilities. Like figure out a very niche problem that you want to solve, and then build something really that works. Because a lot of time I have I've been part of, like, I participated hackathon, I judged a lot of hackathon. So a lot of time the challenge is, like, if people have all this idea and all these 1,000 different things they want to do and end up not submitting it. So my recommendation will be start with small and then kind of finish it. And of course, like, have some bounty in mind. And then the best way to kind of expand your idea is always talking to different people. So like every time you talk with a smart person, you'll probably figure out, like, you did not thought through, like, a certain way. So I would say, like, utilize all this channel that Maria mentioned. So like to find a new member, find a share your idea. So a lot of other thing we do is, like, we are so afraid of, like, someone else's who will steal our idea. But trust me, like, idea are cheap. Like, anyone can come up with, like, 100 idea, but like not many people, the idea that you truly love, the way you will build, if someone steal your idea, probably not going to build the same way. So share it, and sometimes you will find, like, some people will help you to kind of see it in different ways. So that's how I would do, like, find a very niche problem that I want to solve, and I really, really wish someone would already solve it, and then I'll share with other people and then get their feedback, and hopefully they also have the same problem. And for hackathon, like, other most important thing is have fun. Like you have to have fun during the hackathon, meet a lot of more people. Like another fun fact, today in Jutsu, 2 of our engineer came from hackathon, and they used Jutsu during the hackathon and then reach out to me, and then now they are working with us. So it's not only just building a project, it's not only about just starting a company. A lot of cases you'll probably work for some of those projects, like so there are a lot of, I think, upside. I don't see any downside, like just to participate and build a bunch of hackathon, have fun. So I hope I answer your question, Jose.
Oh no, absolutely, absolutely, and especially stay focused, stay on track and submit.
Or get really unfocused and come up with a really out of the box idea. Because I really love the suggestion of one of the hackers at our conference in Redacted in Bangkok. They said, like, we crypto people, we're coming to all those remote cities where we've never been, and we see this everyday life. For example, in Bangkok, it's really sometimes challenging to find a place that would accept credit cards. Get to the bottom of this. Find out why. Find out why people are not using technology. Why are they afraid of technology? Why is technology so hard to integrate? Just get out of there and try to solve real world use cases, because I'm sure even if you live in San Francisco and you get out of the house, you will eventually run into certain problems and challenges that people face. Mm-hmm. So I would suggest starting there, emphasize with people who experience these problems and issues, and build something that would make the world a better place. I know it's a cliche, but at the end of the day, that's what we are here to do as people who are building the future through AI and blockchain. Thank you so much for joining us today. Jose, back to you. Let's wrap it up. I think Jose is stuck with his amazing guitar collection. All right. I think, let me see.
Thank you for the opportunity also, just to share my experience.
Thank you for taking time of the day. All right, so I think we can wrap it up.
Okay, so okay, then everyone, like, just reach out, like, if you need any help. I'll be happy.
Near.chat, near dev on Telegram. We are happy to help. We're happy to support you, and happy hacking.
Happy hacking. So talk to you soon. Bye.